have some babies here as well, so we'll see them and they'll have that light orange fur. As they get older, they get to about 2,500 pounds like mom and dad. And then at that done, back at any given point, they are incredibly strong. Now, if you know anything about the llamas, you know that they will spit at you with a lot of self-defense. Now, this spit is not just saliva, it's also stomach bile. That means it's sticky, it's slimy, it doesn't come out of your clothes, and it will cause you temporary blindness, which means you really don't want to get... On the left here, we're also going to see some of our Roosevelt elk. The Roosevelt elk were named after Teddy Roosevelt, former president of the United States and a father of conservation. Here's how we got the males and the females. The males will be a little bit larger than the females, but they'll also have these nice big antlers. Now, antlers, unlike horns, will shed and regrow every single year. There's some more of our right. We actually have two baby guys hanging out with mom and dad over there. The fallow deer are going to look really similar to our New Jersey white-tailed deer. But unlike the New Jersey white-tailed deer, the female on the right side and the left side are on either side of the truck right now. Over the left side is the country off the fan, and then they're done. The males will be the ones to sit on the nest. Over the females, we're going to meet a lot of our males. A little bit private tour happening right now. The African elephant's tusks will typically be a little bit shorter than the Asian elephants. Their ears will be larger and in the shape of Africa. They also have those iconic trunks that they're used to eat and to do plenty of other things. Those trunks have over 40,000 muscles in them. And with that, they can pick up something as teeny tiny in their mouth. Kind of looks like a vacuum piece, so we restored them, so now there's a white rhino forever instead. We're also going to see our zebras right now. The zebra is black with white stripes, not white with black stripes. You can tell that by looking at their muzzle, at the inside of their ear, and at their hooves. They'll use those stripes to recognize each other because they are different for every zebra. Kind of like human zebra, so they are entirely unique. They also use those stripes to invert, put them into the center of a large circle energy by running around super duper fast, and then they run around super duper fast. Their stripes will start to blend together. This will confuse and scare away predators. These guys are also going to be more aggressive species in the African savanna, shockingly enough. You would think that they'd be a little more peaceful, but they take after their cousins, the donkeys. They are incredibly aggressive. Now, I'm going to see them throughout the next couple of sections, so don't worry about that. Right up here, we're going to see our Asian one. An Asian animal in the middle of Africa. But there is a reason that they're here. These guys are water dependent. That means that they will spend about 60% of their lives in water, and they need it to survive. And here in Africa, the largest water source is, they're here in the Sahara. Our largest water source is in Africa, so you need a hammer and a chisel to get through it. On the right up here, we're going to see some of our white-bearded gnu and blue wildebeest. That's that guy sitting alone out there. He was a part of the Great Migration. That's that big thing where a bunch of animals crossed Africa together. And next to them is the Ulysses water buck. These guys were named for that white circle that's on their butts. So this kind of looks like they sat on a toilet seat. Now they emit a smell that is so nasty, so disgusting, because they think that their meat is rotten. There's some more of those Ulysses water buck there. And there's two larger suckers, and they have those horns. We'll meet our females later on, and that gives me more to talk about. On our right up here, looking like a kid's cover band, are our Easter oryx. We're known for having those black faces. Just like I said, we're starting a kid's cover band there. Now these guys, those markings will actually deter predators and keep them safe out in the wild. So they can also raise their body temperature up to 116 degrees in order to accommodate for the heat. They do not like to be touched. Your wildlings will not like it either because you will spend $2,000 to $5,000 in Texas and New Jersey, and I will spend a lot of time doing paperwork I don't want to do. Please don't touch my animals. But we do have some of our giraffes. Of course, this is a well-born oryx. But it's extinct out in the wild in the year 2000. Since then, we were able to reach 2016, we put 25 of them back into the wild. And since then, their population has grown up to about 600. That's why last year they were part of our team on this. On the left of there are our red Angolan cattle. These guys very similar well down in Africa. And those horns are roughly 6 feet long, but they are hollow on the inside and will be used as a natural splitting structure. We do also have our giraffes there. And that's our dream, but they are the tallest great animals in the world. They'll be about 16 to 18 feet tall. The female will be about 18 to 20. They're apart, and they're breathing a lot easier. Which means, shockingly enough, dropping a baby giraffe, not a bad thing, at least the first time. I'm sure the second or third time it starts to do some damage. There's some more of our fallow deer down there, as well as 2 or 3 of our black bucks. Like I said earlier, the male fallow deer will get that darker color, but the females will always have their spots, so we have some females out there. There's some more giraffes, okay. We have one that's going to walk right up next to the truck as we get our Savannah Sunset Resort and Spa. He's going to come up, he's going to decide where he goes and we're going to follow. There he is, he's going to come up on our left. Now you can see just how long that neck is. That neck is to be used to get food, as well as in a behavior called necking. That's those two giraffes. They take their necks, wrap them around each other like Alright, and here we actually have in action one of our giraffe babies at the Savannah Sunset Resort and Spa. They're trained to. And if you sign a waiver you can, but you don't sign that waiver to get off this truck, that's a part of the resort. It's a part of the resort, it's not a waiver. So the Savannah Sunset Resort and Spa, you can stay for a minimum stay and the water park with us. Oh yeah, they're walking across the road right now. We may have to stop for them. But now we're heading into our Serengeti grasslands. Here will be some more of our hook stock. Starting with down there, the 2 guys that are fighting are 2 of those black bucks that we were talking about earlier. But in front of them are some of our addicts. So those are the white guys. The addict is responsible for the unicorn. The reason for that being that their horns are so symmetrical. If we look at them from just the right angle, it looks like they only have 1 horn. So the reason worse, that's the good for the unicorn. We also have our udads up here. These guys are also known as the Barbary sheep. Despite that, these guys are not related to the sheep at all. These guys are actually more closely related to the mountain goat. These are all of our males out here, so all male herd. We're going to get our females and some of the babies out in the nursery a little bit later on. But the males will have slightly thicker and longer horns than the females, and they'll have a shaggy beard, whereas the females do not. Coming up now is our white-tailed gnu, or the black wildebeest. These guys are cousins to the blue wildebeest that we met earlier. And while the blue wildebeest was a part of the Great Migration, these guys were not. And that's because they were extinct at the time of the Great Migration, at the very least out in the wild. We still had some on farms, and due to conservation efforts, they made a really big comeback in the 1800s. Of course, I've made that mistake before. Now, way back there, hanging out by the fence, are some of our sable antelope. The sable antelope are the fighters of the antelope species, whereas most antelopes will run away from a predator. These guys have been known to put up a fight. They'll take those big horns and they'll pick up something as large as a fully grown lion and toss it right over their backs if they're threatened. So, they're fighters. They'll start off their life as a nice light brown, and as they get older, they'll get a lot darker. The males will get as dark as a black color, and the females will get closer to like a chocolate brown. That's why I love male off just sitting there. He's just chilling now. This is going to be one of the last. Your males will sleep up to 20 hours. The females actually will sleep a little bit less because they are the hunters of the pride. Your females will go out hunting a couple hours a day, and they come back successful about 25% of the time. Again, because now when they do come back successful, this means 2 things. They will engorge themselves, and in one sitting, a lion will eat up to 50 pounds of food. That's a lot of food. These guys can also go up to 10 days without eating anything. Males over there, you can see them there. The oldest one has that nice dark mane. There they are. And the way you're going to tell apart a black bear and a brown bear, shockingly, is not just by their color, but also by their size and by their claws. The black bear will come in several colors. But they will typically be smaller than the brown bear is, about 100 to 200 pounds on average. There he is. He's about 2 months old. Yeah. Let's see. I think he's gonna try to climb it, or he's trying to eat the tree. I don't think eating the tree is working out for him though. Now that they are young, they climb to get food. They climb a year old. She's technically, is she fighting with mom right now? Well, you're not gonna win that fight. Her mom. She's like, I'm gonna beat you up. Like, no, you're not. But they can be nice. My great grandpa used to go on walks with black bears. It's the only reason I say it. There they are. They're taking a nap. It's been a long day of finding new places to nap. I figured out every time I come back out here, all 3 of them are rotating in their positions and where they're sleeping. The thing you might notice first about the red Lexway is that their back legs are longer than their front legs. It almost kind of looks like they're wearing stilettos, and they are fabulous doing it. But this actually is practical, it's not just fashion. It's going to help them to navigate through the marsh and the mud of their native habitat. Now the male red Lexway will have nice big beautiful horns, and your females will not. That's not the only difference. Also on our right side, hanging out by two of those trees, are our common elair. Oh my god, there's a turtle hanging out there. Hi, buddy. Sometimes you get some turtles here, yeah. They're not technically a part of the safari, but they like to come hang out with the animals. There's one that goes and hangs out with them. These are our common eland. They are the second largest antelope species in the entire world. Both the males and the females are going to have those horns that we're seeing there. This is the last one we're going to get at this today, so I'm setting one tomorrow. If you want to stay here again, it's a minimum of 2 nights in the world. You'll find them across 49 of the 50 states. Now all of our bear cubs will stay with Mama until they are fully grown. With Mama, they'll learn how to hunt, they'll learn how to socialize with the other bears, and generally just survive. And that guy's trying to say hi to them. Now, like the black bear, these guys are also opportunistic omnivores, but unlike the black bear, these guys prefer to eat fish and game. That's what we saw that guy swinging around a second ago. He was swinging around a little fish. We don't always feed these guys fish. Typically, we'll feed them the same grain and seed we feed the black bears. But I guess today's one of those days we're giving them a special little treat and we're giving them some fish. There they are. We see just how flat those paws are up here. They also have a nice big pool in here. At the bottom of that pool, there are some tires, ropes, hubcaps, volleyballs, all sorts of stuff for them to play with, all sorts of enrichment toys for them. Although typically they won't end up playing with their toys, they'll just go into the water, stick their heads under the water and blow bubbles. Equally as adorable, so I'm fine with it. There they are. We're also seeing a variety of different colors in our brown bears. They'll come as light as blonde, like we're seeing over there, or some. Hey girl. And her mom's hanging out back there as well. So she'll stay here until she is fully grown. At which point she'll go and join the other bears. And there's Stanley! Hi, Stanley! Stanley was waiting. Hi, Birdie! It's the first time I've seen him do his dance today. It's lovely. He must really like you guys. Yeah. When Stanley was actually raised by humans. Okay, friends. Oh, they'll stand about 3 to 5 feet tall at their tallest, and they're the only rat-type bird with calf muscles. That'll help them to run really, really fast. Not quite as fast as the ostrich, but they're still pretty fast, running about 40 miles an hour. They have those blue markings on the side of their face, so it'll be the same color as their eggs. Now on our right, we have some of our kangaroos hanging out. This is the red kangaroo. Alright, now your males are going to be that red color, your females will be that sandy gray color, and your zoes will be whatever color. Your males and babies are your zoes. Now those tails will be 3 feet long, and that's what's going to help them to hop as high as they do. They hop instead of walking, is that their hip joints are fused together. They do not have independent control over our hips like we do. So we have independent control, but I'll do it anyways. The kangaroos do not. So instead of being able to walk, they will hop instead. This is one of our emus here as well. Now, if you recognize the way that the emus walk, there are 2 wars in Australia, and they've won both. It's called the Great Emu War. The Australians compared them to tanks after the war because they run so fast. Standing for the first time today is our Bengal tiger. The Bengal tiger is endangered, but they are the most abundant species of tiger left in the world. There are about 2,500 of them left in the entire world, both under human care and out in the wild. She's just kind of, what is she staring at? Oh, yeah. That's what was going on. But the Bengal tiger is also the only Siberian tiger population by 1%. If you do that math really quickly, that means that there are only 500 Siberian tigers left in the entire world. That's both under human care and out in the wild. They are critically endangered. That's why last year they were a part of the network. We picked 2 animals that are endangered. Last year was the Siberian tiger and the Swiss horned oryx. We put them onto a pin, like the pin I'm wearing now, and we sell that pin to get shot for only $5. And all proceeds go to the Wildlife Conservation Network in order to help save our animals. Now as we're seeing these tigers, we're going to see that they have those little white spots on the back of their ears. That's going to help them. Tiger sees them and decides, I'm going to try to help the tiger today. I don't know why they would do that. These guys are apex predators. But, you know, in case they do. They're gonna go up to them, see those white spots on the back of their heads, and go, oh my god, they have eyes on the back of their head. Kind of like how my mom does. And then they'll run away. We're also gonna see that these guys are walking with their mouths open. Cassie, is he hanging out? He was over on the mountain earlier. Okay, so we do have a llama out here right now. The reason that he's out on the llamas in the Americas, he gets a bit of a temper, he was known to start to fight, and he gets along a lot better with the animals out here in our Asiana section than he does with the other animals. So over here, hang out in the trees, we have some of our neogyas. We're heading towards the nursery. The neogyes were once prey to the Siberian tiger, but as that Siberian tiger population has gone down, the population of neogyes are native too. But they are also a protected species in India and Pakistan, which means that we are not allowed to hunt them. So their population is just growing and growing and growing. These guys are adorable, and I don't like the thought that they're invasive.
See,
that makes me sad.
This is where you used to come in and out to see the big cats.
Good. Guy out here as well. Those kind of looks like they're wearing little socks. Okay, but we have our udads up there. It's all our females in there too. She's digging, covering herself in dirt. That's how they'll cool off on a nice warm day like today. We're gonna have a lot of black bucks here at Six Flags, and that's because the gestation period, or the pregnancy period of a female black buck, only lasts 5 months. That means that if the timing is right, a female black buck can give birth up to 3 times in 1 year. Personally, no thank you. That is a lot of times to give birth in a year. I'm good. Mine is enough.
Hey, you are
Even that right now. Will start to get dark up there, and they have those horns. Now, of course, there are a couple of males who have their horns right now, but they aren't darker. That's because they are teenage male black bucks. As the season goes on, I'm sure they're going to start to get their color a little more, and by next year they'll be hanging out with our adult male black bucks in the Serengeti grasslands and the wild plains. There they are. It's really funny because then the baby male black bucks will walk with their heads up like they're the most important black bucks in the area. It's adorable. As we come up here, we're heading towards Bad. She was Bizarro, and now she's back to Medusa. And then center there is El Toro, and on the right is where King Nicole used to be, and I keep saying that, and then forgetting that it's not there anymore because I'm still getting used to it. It's like a big hole in the sky, it's weird. We're going to start to see our yaks, we'll see them a little bit closer when we get to the other side. If you've been here before, you might know that our baboons used to be free roaming. The wood, all the rope, everything is from something in the main park that is out of commission, whether it's the tires from trucks or anything else. But here they are, the olive-crested baboons. These guys are named for their olive grooming. That's how they show affection and respect for one another. You're also going to see them picking through the grass. That is how they'll hunt. On the right up here, we're going to start to see some of our yaks. Now the yak is an excellent farm animal under human care. It's just under 10,000 left.